So we'll come to the Wuji Stance. Just relax. We're not going to sit for a few minutes, but we'll sort of approach things like we did last time. So just once again, feet are flat, weights evenly distributed between the feet and then on each foot, so that the weight's going down the center of your foot, not outside, not inside. This ensures that when you bend your knees, they align with your feet and don't go off at a bad angle. Bring your attention up to your lower back and let that just go. Let your bottom go. Shoulders sink down. Chest and belly relax. Throat relaxes. Chin is level. Eyes relax. Top of the head just gently goes up. And once again, just remind your whole body to relax. Observe your breathing. Just feel what your body feels like at this point as you breathe and stand balanced. Bring your hands a little forward and let the elbows go out. And then now check, make sure your fingers aren't tense. Let them relax. They'll retain this shape. And notice when you relax your hands, that relaxation goes up through your wrists, to your forearms. See if your forearms are tense, your shoulders, chest, back. Let that all relax. If you do this enough, you'll eventually find that, oh, I can let go a little more, a little more. I don't need to be tense in the back. And then let your hands come up. But once again, if any tensions come up into your shoulders, let the shoulder blades go down, your elbows, let your elbows go down. Is your thumb sticking up like Jack Horner? Let that relax. Good, we don't notice these things, and that's part of why we do this, is to become a little more aware of what we're doing in our body. Point the palms forward as you lower your elbows. Now think of a connection from your feet, up your legs, up your back, out your arms to your hands. And imagine pushing and how you want to use the floor as leverage. So you push, but don't actually push, just that whole sensation of pushing. If you were to push, imagine you're connected through your body. Now imagine someone pushing against your hands. If you stiffen up, they'll knock you backwards. But if you relax into this and take their energy through your hands, through your arms, and down into your feet, you have to be relaxed to do that, but you're actually stronger than if you stiffen up. Now, lower your hands like you're going to play a piano. Just imagine you're playing a beautiful piece. You suddenly become quite talented. And then let your arms go out and down. Here you are, ready to embrace something lovely, something that really moves your heart. Lower your arms. And then inhale, stand tall. And as you exhale, stay tall, but let your body relax. Take another breath, gather in energy, guide it through the top of your head. Fill your whole body. Take one more breath and bring your focus to yourself right now. This moment. Nice. And then just sort of move a little to kind of get a little loose. Let's do the good morning 5. Once again, we come to the Wuji Stance. Cross our arms, open. Breathing in and out. Notice what happens to your spine. It sort of rounds, and then it sort of arches forward. You don't have to exaggerate this. It just does it with the movement of your arms. and lifting of your head. One more time. Opening up. And then we'll just go right into the bucket of water. We open. Keep your head up. Keep your back straight. Lift using your legs and then your arms. And then the bucket disappears. And the water flows over you. Again. Observe yourself as you do this. As your back rounds, arches, and then notice it rounds a little. You go down, and then your legs, you use your legs, and then your arms. And then you relax into the Wuji. One more time. And then we hold the ball. Press the top hand down, the bottom hand up, and then rotate your torso. And then back and again to the other side. Breathe naturally, but oftentimes this will be the inhale, this will be the exhale. And continuing on. But don't ever worry so much about the breathing that you hold your breath or breathe rapidly. You want to be comfortable and not make it stressful. One more time. Excellent. Bring your hands to your side. As you breathe in, you lift. Breathe out, send a good thought into the world, a good hope, a good wish. And now we're going to gather some of that goodness to ourselves. So bring it in, center, and sink. This next time we're going to embrace the world and then embrace ourselves. Well done. Good. Just step it out. Shake a little. Let yourself lose any tension. Shaking's a really good one. It's good for your bones. Let's try this. Just bounce up and down lightly. This will help with bone density. Just that little bounce. Okay, back to the Wooji Stance. We're going to do the open channel Qigong. So, get yourself settled. Bring the arms up. And then stretch. And relax. Again, like you're a little kid being lifted by your arms. One more. And then gather, center, and sink. Step wider. Bring the hands in front of you. Shift to your left. Rotate your torso. Bring your right hand around to your kidneys. Your left is out from your heart. And then shift forward. Arms sweep in front to the other side. And notice how you want the weight to feel on the foot. So the foot stays totally flat as you shift from side to side. That looks good. You don't want to roll your foot. It's a little more challenging for your ankles, but it's good. And return. Wuji, gather, center, sink. Bring your arms up. Stretch your left side. Keep your face forward. Fingers are just sort of pulling you gently. Then look down. Lower the top hand. Come to the front. Repeat on the other side. Hold it here for a beat, and then look down. And down. And down. Once more on each side. Just a nice stretch. Feel it all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And down. And down. Gather. Center. And sink. I'm going to show you from the side. You don't have to turn sideways. Legs are straight. Hands are lightly on the knees. Notice how my back is flat. My head goes, I'm looking straight. So it's just like I'm in the Wuji, then I simply bend at the hips. And then I'm going to, my head is going to intend that way. So it's like I'm still doing the Wuji thing. My tailbone sinks. If you want to release your back a little, help it. Think of the tailbone going up just a little as your head extends. And then you round, bend your knees, hunker down, and then come back up. So let's try that. Legs are straight, back is straight, head is pointing toward your camera. And then round your back. Hunker down. Come on up. Again, so you bend at the hips. Look at the floor. Feel your back stretch, lengthen. And then round it and go down. Come on up. One more time. Stretch your back, lengthen it, and then round. Come on up. Wooji Stance. Gather. Center. Sink. Now you can stay in the Wuji, or you can go a little wider if you want. Bend your knees, bring your arms up. Relax your shoulders. As you breathe in, you stand up and turn your palms up as you open. Let those hands be light and soft. Because if you think about it, what muscles are you using? You're just rotating your whole arm. That's happening up near the shoulders. Your back arches forward. And you just bend your knees. So, a lot of things don't need to be tense. It's a pretty simple exercise. Down, lower your hands. Gather, center. And feel yourself sink. Right here, the body, they call it your pelvic floor down there. Just think of that going down. You don't have to bend your knees, but that sort of helps anchor you. Bring your hands here. Rotate. So you see how my hands come a little to the side? I lift them up. Rotate and lower. Turn. This is inhaling. Turn. Exhale. Very good. Now check your hands. Are your hands light or your fingers tense? Like you've got Easter, right? Little chicks. You've gone out to Tyson's and you bought a handful of chicks. So, think of how gentle you would be with those chicks. Next time you come across, we'll pause. We'll change directions, lift. You're not sure where you're going to put the chicks. You put them in one box, and now you're going to lift them and put them into another. This time we're going to come to the center. We've gotten rid of the chicks. Now we're going to just lift them and then gather. Center and sink. Okay. Got just a couple more of these and we'll take a break. Bring your hands up again. So first, just to make sure, what I have you do, a lot of times people will turn and then they try to move this shoulder back too far. All you're doing is just let your hands go down, come up, down. There should be no restriction in your shoulder unless you have something going on, then modify it. So that when we turn, our arms go down just as smoothly and come up as smoothly as if we were facing forward. So we're just getting a little extra twist in our back and our upper legs and bottom. One more. And out. That's quite, I always feel that, don't you? Yeah. Sorry if I went too long. But you know that's a good muscle movement, good strengthening. And we'll gather, center, and sink. Once more, a little wider. This is just like picking up the bucket of water, but we're going to do the stone. So it's a little different. So we cross our arms, open. Imagine you've got this big stone and you just lift, lift, lift. Excuse me. So you can keep your arms, maybe go for a slightly bigger stone. Up. One more. Gather, center, and sink. And then we're going to close out in the Wooji Stance. Breathe in. Stand tall, relax down. Gather in energy. Gently fill your body. Once again, just bring yourself to here. And then find your chair. And then stand up. So you put your back of your legs, get your feet up, press into your hip joint and down. There you go. And if you want to adjust now, you can do whatever you like. Okay, so let's review the 5 elements. Seated. So hands come up. So it's just like all the way. And open. Wood. Fire. Earth. Metal. Water. Return to the beginning. Very good. So as you know, there's yin and yang. Or no, this is yang and yin. So anyway, that's the cycles, right? So you'll see that yang energy increases, or yin energy, one increases, the other doesn't. So in the springtime, the yang energy is rising. It's becoming stronger. And then the peak of it is in the summer when everything's just going gangbusters. And then it's sort of dying down, and right about late summer, early fall, it's in yin and yang are in balance. And this is earth. And then there's metal. Here we have a little more yin energy. And then water. And then this just signifies the start again. So the spring you have a lot more yin energy, yang energy. And then goes, and there's this balance point here, and then there's more. Anyway. So let's try it again. Just think about it. Springtime, wood, everything's coming a little more animated. And then in summer, it's just this lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. And then you can tell when the weather's changing, getting ready. Days are getting shorter, crops are maturing, earth. And then metal, we've taken this metal and we've turned it into tools. Harvest is done, everything's relaxing, settling down for winter. And then at some point again, so this is like the settle in, and we can do one more time. Wood, fire, earth, metal, water, return to the beginning. Sort of brings it all back to where we were. Good. Any questions? Well, let's get up again, and we'll do it standing. But first I wanted to review, just go over briefly the footwork. So we're gonna, when we do wood, let's just do wood here, wood. We're in the Wooji Stance. You just feel like you're rooted to the ground, like you're a tree and this is the leaves coming up. Now when you shift into your right foot, you release this. You want to still be balanced so that you're able to touch the heel. And then you can shift, your center comes forward, a little more weight here than here. This is fire, and then you shift back, lift the toe, bring it under, and finish earth. And then you shift again, balance, touch the heel. You do this little bow. You see, I just go about an inch. And then you bring your center forward as you shift. Now you keep your feet flat. This is water. Shift back. Shift forward like a rocking boat. Shift all the way back. Bring your foot under. Return to the Wuji. We do wood. And then you balance on the left foot. Touch the heel. Shift forward. Shift all the way back. Bring it under. Return to the Wuji. Metal. Touch the heel. I'm just tucking at the hips. And then it comes forward. and then it shifts back, forward, all the way back, and we return to the beginning. So something to keep in mind is sometimes people will take too big of a step. When you place this out here, you want to be able to lift it without wiggling too much. So let's try this. Shift into your right foot. Now your knees bent. So you have the Wuji Stance. Your head is straight up, relaxing down. Feel your dantian sink, which means you just let weight go into the bottom of your pelvic floor, essentially the bottom of your torso. And then that's going to shift into one foot. The weight comes off the other. And you touch the heel. Now touch the toe. Now see if you're wiggling, try to keep your foot a little closer, just right like so. And that will be your step. Because you want to be able to be in control. It doesn't do us good if we try to go too far and fall. Try the other foot. Shift in, feel your sink down, and then the weight just sort of flows out of your right foot. And your heel comes up and touch the heel, toe, heel, toe. Good. I mean, like everyone, we all want to go low and reach out, but we got to work up to that. And there's limits. I have my limits. I mean, I watch people, I know people who can go here, and they can go down till their bottom touches the floor, and the other leg stays up. I'll never be able to do it, but I can balance, sink a little, and put it out there. So as you get stronger and more balanced, you just simply bend this knee a little lower. That comes with time. But you always want to maintain that vertical, and you want to maintain the weight on your bottom of your foot. Because as you're adding more weight going lower, your knee is going to be in a little more precarious situation. So these are the things we're aware of, but don't worry about that now. So let's do the whole thing. Wooji Stance. Take a breath. And let's begin. Wood. We shift into the right foot, touch the left heel, shift forward, fire. When the hands are straight out from the shoulders, turn them toward each other. Pull all your weight back, hands in front. Bring this under and shift. You finish earth. Once again, balance on the right foot, touch the left heel. Gather in the metal ore, little pressing, and then we shift and extend the arms, and then water. Come back, out, back. Foot comes under, we return to the beginning. Take a breath, and let's do the other side. Wood. Shift into the left foot, release, touch the heel, shift, fire, earth, metal, water. Wuji Stance, return to the beginning. Now I was noticing on, let's look at the metal one. Shift into your right foot, touch your heel. Switch feet. So we gather now just this, so just like so. Now just lean it just a little. Now simultaneously, we'll do it in 3 steps. Shift your weight forward, straighten your back, and just let your fingers go forward. Okay? So it's kind of, we can simplify it. Let's try that again. So shift into your right foot, touch your left heel. Gather. So right here, just feel this little tuck, but keep your face forward. And then, simultaneously, you're going to just rotate your hands and move your center forward as you stand up. And you can even lower them, Sharon. There you go. You don't stretch. We're trying to keep, think about if you were to put, let's check this out. Shift back, bring your hands here, and then just gently push. Back, push. So that's how it should feel, just like this. Just your fingertips are lightly going out. So you shift, it'd be like, or you can look like this. If we gather the metal, and then just let your hands, keep your elbows low though, you're turning, that brings all this tension up. So this is a good one to look at. The elbows go low. Yeah, so shift
Okay,
back.
yeah, I can.
Yeah, and I was noticing that.
Little thing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's cool, it's like a swimming stroke.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Let's try the other side. So this is good thing to look at. So balance on your left foot, touch the right heel. So these just float up in a gentle circle. Say you're just stripping the bed, you've got an armload of sheets, right? And then here you just bend, just a little, and then as you stand up and shift, imagine dropping them into the washer. Okay, and then you come back. Good, I'm glad we talked about that. Yeah, so we'll do it one more time. Follow along. Okay, so Wooji Stance, wood. Fire. Earth. Metal. Okay, here, just lower the hands and the fingers just gently go out. Water. Wuji, return to the beginning. Take a breath. Wood. Fire. Earth. Metal. Water. Wuji, return to the beginning. Good. And let's sit down again. So that's something to keep in mind on that when we're doing the metal is, here's the bow, and if you have a sharp, like say you're using, old times they'd use a sai or something to cut the wheat, if it's sharp, it just goes right through, like they say, like a hot knife through butter. So when you, here we turn it into that sharp implement, and then there's just this slight forward. So you don't have to put power into it. Any
Straightening
extra?
the back help too.
What's that?
I straighten my back, like you said after that, and that makes you feel better as you're going out for the water.
Good. Yeah, because during it, as we do it, we want to we think about it. Like if we're doing fire, I'm not leaning into it. It's natural to want to lean into it, but when you get into more Tai Chi, what you do is these are actually going apart a little. My back is going apart. Because if I'm pushing and moving, I'm not as strong. If my back's against the wall, I can push hard, right? So what you do is you turn your back into a wall. It doesn't go, it's going back into the wall. So that gives you a little extra leverage. That's just a little higher level Tai Chi thing to think about. So that's one of the reasons we don't lean into it. We move from here and extend, but not too far. Good point. Okay, so let's look at the Tai Chi. If we have our arms here and they go up, in, and down, it's almost like they're making a circle. And just bring them down to your thigh, just like so. Down. Good. Now you're going to bring this hand across. And then you lower, and this comes straight out from you. A little curve, a little bit of an angle, like that. This hand's here. And then we're just going to sweep across, hold the ball. This goes up. Now look, you're looking straight out the window over your right hand, or whatever you're looking at. Then you bring, turn. Now I'm trying to keep both my sit bones in the chair, and I'm just rotating up. Switch hand, there you go. And then over, so I'm bringing this shoulder forward. I'm not tilting, I'm just rotating. Just try this move. What's that look like? Cloud hands. Good. Then try this move. Go the other way. Brush knee. If we go forward, brush knee. Or we can just do this move. Now notice though that the arms moving this way can become brush knee. Try it over here. So this time your right hand goes forward and your left goes across. Brush knee. Brush knee. And notice that comes out of this movement, right? Okay, so if we turn it the other way, the other movement is cloud hands, right? It's the opposite direction. And look at what move comes out of that. Parting the wild horse's mane. So there's these connections. I mean, your arms can only move in so many directions. And then back to the other one with this move. This can also be we've just changed forward and back, repulse the monkey. So notice, try pulling into your hip. Don't worry so much about the pushing hand. Think about this hand here, pulls. Now what you'll do is when you do the move, think about not just grabbing here. You imagine someone's pulling. When we can get less social distance, we'll try this. You have someone grab your arm, and if you try to pull away, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you pull into your hip, like when we do play the lute, I've got somebody's got a hold of me, my arm here, I just put my hand on theirs, and I sink. You know how we go like this, and then pull. I'm using everything to pull my hand away. It's not just this. So that's one of the things we're practicing in here, is to not just fight up here. And we're not talking about fighting, but just the whole notion of using more than just the immediate muscles to accomplish any task. You know, if you're doing a tug of war, you don't just pull with your arms, you pull with your whole body. Okay, so let's look at Golden Rooster. So this comes up, and this comes up. And now let's try lifting the knee. Lifting the knee. Good. And I think that's about all we need to review seated. But you can do any of these movements. And you don't have to do it just like parting the wild horse. You can just do like something like this. Just making it kind of like a graceful open, close, open, close, open, close. Sorry. Open, close. So you see, it has that same effect as this one we were doing, but it's a little prettier. It's like open, close, open. And you can turn a little. So your chest comes forward, your back arches, then your back rounds. Yeah. And then you can just dance around the room. You're feeling good.
I'm so afraid.
All right, well, let's get up again. Let's do some Tai Chi. Okay, so we're going to, I think everyone in here is pretty good on the form. So we will do the corner form, not facing the corner. So we're in the Wuji Stance. Take a breath. I'll be a mirror image. Sink and lift. Bring the hands in. Push down. Balance on the right foot. Hold the ball. Extend the heel, just like in 5 element shift. Part the wild horse's knee. Shift your center forward. Rear foot comes up. Balance on the rear foot. Block in and down, out and up. White crane flashing its wings. Lower the right hand, lift the left. Lower the left hand, lift the right, hold it. Step, shift, brush knee. Shift forward, half a step. Reach out with your left hand, grab the neck of the loop, and then pull. This is that pulling. Just a little, and then touch your heel. Palms up. Right hand in, left foot back. Shift into the left foot. And as you shift in here, notice my foot's crooked. I'm going to release it. I just lift the heel and let it pivot. Palms up. Left hand in, right foot back. Repulse the monkey. Return to the Wuji Stance. We're going to balance, open, lift the thigh, straighten it, bend it, and touch it down. And then we hold the ball, step, shift, part the wild horse's mane. Shift forward half a step. Balance on the rear foot. Block down, up. Lower the left hand, lift the right. Lower the right hand, lift the left. Pause, step, shift, brush knee. Shift forward half a step. Reach out. Now your weight's on your right foot. You reach out, someone grabs, so you shift your weight and just pull your elbows in a little. And now you're back on your left foot and touch the heel. Ta-da! Left hand in, right foot back. Repulse the monkey. Ta-da! Right right hand in, left foot. Repulse the monkey. And then we return. We're going to kick with that side, balance, open, lift, straighten, and touch. Now, this hand's going to be a crane's beak. This comes here. Step sideways, shift sideways, single whip. And then you shift back and begin waving hands like clouds. We can step here. So we shift into the left foot, bring the right foot up. Change the hands, shift into the right foot, get balanced, a little step. Change hands, and now shift. So this is practicing. We balance over here, pull this in, but don't first change the hands and then balance. So we get balanced here so that we can move the leg without getting disrupted. Lower, lift, this is the last one. You balance on the left foot, golden rooster. Bring this hand up, step this way, shift, single whip, and then wave hands like clouds. So you shift into the right foot, get balanced, bring the other one in, change the hands, shift into the left foot, get balanced, step, change the hands, shift. So you don't shift the weight and step together. So we bounce, now you're going to step, but your weight stays over here. And then you intentionally rebalance. Now you don't have to lift your knee high, just, and then we're going to hold the ball again. Step, we're going to grasp the swallow's tail. Ward off, roll back, press, yield and push. Come back. Return, shift to the left foot, hold the ball. Step, ward off, roll back, press, yield, push. We return to the Wuji Stance, and we cross. And we're done. Nice job. It's looking good. Any questions? So now that, you have the choreography, which means you know what to do, and then comes the making sure, like on cloud hands, I've broken it down into these different steps. So without the arms, I shift and then shift. I step and then shift. I follow step and then shift. Step, but don't move. So see, if we're not doing this, so what we want, let's try this. Let's come to the Wuji Stance. Shift into your left foot. Take the right off, bring your right foot in a little. Now just move it a few inches over. Don't move it so far your weight gets pulled over, so just move it and back. So try not to move this part, anything but your leg. Find out how far you can go and be comfortable. Now move it over, keep it over there. Now shift all your weight into that, and when you're back secure, bring this one in. Now, explore, see how, if that pulls you off balance, don't go so far. So you discover how far you can move without moving your body. You just want to move this much of your body from here down. So now step, and then shift. Bring this in. Step, and then shift. So you'll discover, step. You don't want to walk around the world like this, but this way, if you're like not sure, you go like this, and then you shift. So that's, and then so whenever we step, we put the foot out there, but we don't commit, okay? All right, I belabored that. So let's get into the circle. Good job today. Yeah, we don't have to get on. So you get into the Wuji Stance, and then you take the weight off, bring a heel in, heel in. It's still the Wuji, but you've opened your hips a little. You still, when you bend your knees, you feel the foot on the floor. Okay. So your head's gently going up. Imagine the inside of your skull just gently going up. Everything sort of else settles in place. Bring your hands here. As you breathe in, they come up. As they breathe out, they go down. Check and see if there's any tension. Is your thumb sticking out or your fingers? Just let them relax. It's amazing how little things like that can go unobserved. But holding just your thumb tense takes energy that you don't need to expend. One more. Breathe in. And then all the way out. And your arms are in, just imagine them floating up like here. Now if you have any tension in your shoulders or in your back or your neck, just imagine it flows out your arms and leaves your body at your fingertips. And now as you breathe in, you're going to lift the wrists, bring the fingers together. Breathe out, open the hand. Notice I'm just moving a couple inches. Up and down. We'll do one more. And then all the way down. So the wild goose is stretched a little, and now it's flying. Think of your arms as being real supple. So they're not like a couple boards there. They're more like a piece of rope. The wrists lead the way up, and then the wrists following the elbows. Good. Then after flying, the goose lands. So they set their wings so your arms just go up and out. And then you come up as slowly as you went down, and your weight and your hands arrive together. That gives your brain something to do. Okay, I'm timing this. I want to come up, come up, come up, come up. Settle. This sort of thing is what's really good for our brains, is the coordination aspect, the timing. Very good. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, go down. Cross your arms, open up and balance on one foot. Hold that. And then go down. Open, balance on the other foot. One more on each side. Don't forget to smile when you hit this point. Right there. And one more. And then that's good. The last one, we open. Once again, we balance. Touch. So you're trying to move just your arms and the unweighted leg. Everything else stays still, or as still as possible. Great. Then come to the Wuji Stance. This time our arms are going to cross and open upward. And then stand tall and let them come down. One more time. And as you breathe out and lower, smooth it out, seal it in, shine it all up. Ready for the weekend. Okay, well, let's balance on your left foot, put your right foot forward, left hand up, right fist. And we're going to I'll let you get ready. Thanks, Annette. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome, and thanks everyone out there. Good job.